This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty, it is time to start our post-game show as the Miami Dolphins have just finished their defeat at the hands of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 45-17. Big O with you, Sean Stanley by my side. We are out here at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. Remember, we're going to be out here for 3 more games. Then we'll do the last 9 over in Bird Road in 114th. Next week, we'll be here, and we'll be serving breakfast because we're going to be doing our show starting off at 7:30 in the morning. So we're going to have chicken and waffles and all kinds of good stuff. I got to tell you, the performance today was as mediocre as it could possibly get on defense, and this is one where depression starts to set in a little bit. It's not so much that the season is over because you still have 12 games to go. You have a lot of winnable games that are coming up on the schedule. But one of the things that I told you about leading up to this game throughout the week on the show was I wanted to see a respectable performance. And I got to tell you something. As mediocre as Jacoby Brissett is, the offense wasn't too bad today. The defense never bothered to show up today at all. In fact, the defense didn't show up against the Colts. The defense didn't show up against the Bills. The defense really only showed up in the New England game, and the Raiders game a little bit. But the defense has gotten worse and worse and worse as the season has gone on. And the most disturbing thing now that I'm watching from the defense is Xavier Howard bitched and complained about his money, right? He wanted his money. And he held out or held in, however you want to call it. And luckily that the Dolphins were smart enough just to give him the money to get him back on the field now. And listen, I remember the conversations. Tons of you wanted him to get paid. I was not the guy that wanted him to get paid. I didn't mind trading him. But I also didn't mind giving him the money for this year to shut him up and then trade him in the offseason. Now, the only problem is he is now killing his value for the offseason because X has been burned over and over and over and over and over again this year. Luckily, he forced that fumble because he really hasn't done jack all throughout the year. And he is, let me tell you, Wentz went after him last week with no fear, no concerns, and Tom Brady did the same thing to him. And all you got to do is run crossing routes with X. He can't stay with you. I mean, deep routes too, because Mike Evans had him burned and everything, gave him a little bump and everything, but there was no call, so he was going to get toasted on that one. I mean, and let me tell you, Byron Jones not playing well, Jerome Baker not playing well. Those are your 3 money guys on defense, and they are playing like absolute crap. Am I clear enough on this? That Jones, X, and Jerome Baker are playing like absolute garbage. Not one of them deserves any of the money that they're making. In fact, all 3 of them are stealing money without a mask and a gun right now. That's what's going on. And let me tell you something. I want to give the offense a little praise. I know 17 points doesn't look like a lot, but it probably would have been a lot better if your defense would have showed up and made some defensive plays. And maybe you could have been in the game. And not only could you not make any stops because they couldn't stop anybody, you didn't cause any turnovers. You didn't make life easier on your offense whatsoever. And Jacoby Brissett is as mediocre as it gets. But today, I can't necessarily call him the problem. I can't necessarily call the offense the problem because they did all right. They kind of kept you in the game early on, and then because, every time the offense grabs the ball, they get to score. And you can't there's no way you can survive that way. You can't stop their offense ever from scoring. I believe they scored on their first 4 possessions or something like that. I mean, it's ridiculous what I saw today on defense. It's insulting. They did not bother to even leave South Florida. The defense never showed up. I don't know who the hell was that on the field, but none of the guys that actually play for the Dolphins were really on that field. I mean, it was embarrassing. And by the way, Leon Fresco, thank you, sir, giving us a little love on the super chat. He says the last 2 drafts and free agency were the referendum on Greer. He failed. Don't let him and Flo waste next year's cap space. Well, I don't know. Listen, right now, I get it. Everybody wants to fire everybody, and we'll see how this season ends. But this is what I mean. Greer and Flo cannot expect any sympathy from the fan base right now with the way the team has played this year. And you're 1-4, man. You're 1-4. You are a terrible football team, and you look terrible. And that's the other thing. If you lose some of these games and you're playing really well and the other team plays really well, you can, maybe you can explain it a little bit. Oh, man, bad breaks, this, that, man. The Dolphins have played well, but damn, these other teams have really come to play. Fine. But when you look the way you look this week, when you look the way you looked against the Bills, when you look the way you looked against the Colts, that's the problem. Okay? That's the problem. Wow, Mason Crosby just missed his 3rd field goal of the game to try to win it in overtime. That is so unlike Mason Crosby right now. And the Patriots hung on for the win, right? They ended up winning, correct? So the Patriots ended up winning 25-22. The Jets lost. So Miami and the Jets are nice and tied for last place. They're both 1-4. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, it's crazy, dude. It's insulting to see the way this team is playing. It just is. And this becomes and this is an indictment on Flo more than anything else, believe it or not. Because Flo's the guy that wanted Brissett. And Flo's the guy that he doesn't tell you much, right? But he tells you, I want X. I want X. I want X. And the way Greer designed the contract, well, it wasn't to give him X, to give X the money. So it's interesting how he probably told Greer, I need the guy. I need the guy. And guess what? The guy's failing you. And what have I told you all throughout the offseason with X? It's always something. Always something. Now, after all the money and everything you asked for, you're not playing up to snuff. It's ridiculous. So it goes to show you that, when this team, they're trying to do the right thing, and you're trying to keep some of your players happy, and X is, holding out for money that he doesn't deserve, actually, because I don't care what anybody tells me. The guy in the first year of the contract was out with domestic issues and a knee surgery. And so he stole money that year. And then the following year, he has the 10 interceptions, so all of a sudden he wants money. To me, I never understood that whole thing. But I can tell that it was the coach, because the GM didn't structure the contract that way. The coach is the one that told Greer, give in and give him the money. And so they gave him the money for this year. And so Flo actually fought for X. He got X's money, and this is the way X is rewarding Flo. It's really simple for any of you guys. It's really lazy. Well, this is all on Greer. No, it's not actually. It's not. Greer didn't structure to give him the money. Greer had the contract already structured. It was set. You could have let him hold out if you wanted to, or hold in or whatever. But you now realize that the money you gave him was a waste. So I'd like to know what Flo feels like right now that the guy he fought for fails him. Now, Byron Jones falls on Chris Greer. But X falls on Flo. And by the way, what happened to Jerome Baker? Why isn't he being used the same way he was last year? And in coverage, he is terrible, dude. Terrible. And he's not making any plays as a linebacker. I mean, does anybody has anybody seen Jerome Baker? Like, what milk carton is Jerome Baker on right now? Because he needs to be on a milk carton somewhere, because nobody can find Jerome Baker. All right, many ways to reach out to the program. 855-912-1056 is the text line. If you want to get in, 855-912-1056. The Yahoo email is bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. That's bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Of course, the YouTube chat board is there. It is locked. It's loaded. And remember, we got well over 400 right now in the live chat. Please smash the like button. It is so important. One of the most important things you'll do for our show is smash that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
This is a real B&H customer story.
And obviously visit our sponsors. But it's a real B&H story. Okay, I just want to make sure it's that. We are waiting Flo to address the media. Once he starts to address the media, we will bring him on, and we'll see what he's got to say about his team's performance, or half of his team's performance today. Because really, I mean, I got to tell you, man, I am insulted. I'm insulted for every one of you Dolphin fans out there. I'm insulted for fans that traveled to the game in Tampa. I saw Tommy and Hialeah there. Adam Pinkser I saw there. Dolph Freaky is probably there. Big E is there. I'm trying to remember some of the names that I saw on Twitter that they're in Tampa. We got a boatload of Dolphin fans that went to Tampa. I feel bad for those fans. They're spending their money. They're investing their emotions. They're spending their time following their favorite team, and their favorite team doesn't do the decency of actually showing up and playing a respectable game. Listen, most of us that love the team, we weren't really expecting a win. Sure, on any given Sunday, anybody can win. Things go your way, whatever, all that. And when it's 10-10, we're thinking, hey, any given Sunday, right? You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, come on, man. Reward your fans with real effort, with the kind of effort that they deserve. I mean, we got lots of people here all throughout the afternoon at Sports Show coming by, spending their hard-earned money, eating some great food. That's the good thing, at least. You may leave with a loss, but at least you had a cold drink and you had some great food while you're here. By the way, the onion rings were awesome, dude. Those onion rings were excellent. That's who I feel bad for. I feel bad for our fans. Our fans deserve better, man. They deserve a lot better than what we're getting right now. Steve M., thank you, sir. Giving us a little love on the super chat. He says, terrible football team right now, and Flo can't even rally his team. Great show, Big O. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. The biggest indictment on Flo is that defense. That's his unit, man. That's his unit. And X is his guy. He was fighting for X. I don't think people realize, and that's where I think this whole thing It's super simple and lazy to lay all of the personnel decisions on Greer, but the personnel decisions go on Greer and on Flo. Yeah. And this was another example of it. And so the biggest indictment right now is on Flo because his defense, the offense wasn't terrible today. They were considering Jacoby Brissett as the leader of that offense wasn't that bad today. And if the defense shows up, you never might have produced a couple more points. Although, let's all admit, let's every one of us admit here as Dolphin fans, the second that Brissett was mentioned as injured, you kind of got a little excited because you wanted to see Sinet. Because Brissett is nothing. It's not, there's no future there. There's nothing there with Jacoby Brissett. But at least with the Sinet kid, he might fall on his face, but it can't be any worse than things are right now. So why not actually use him? And who knows, you might get something out of it, which is amazing. Emilio Nunez, we have the coach. All right, we are going to go to the coach. Emilio, thank you for the super chat. And Alan D, thank you for the super chat. We are going to go to Flo. He is addressing the media. Here we go. Go ahead, Flo. What's the excuse?
Like I said, obviously a very good offense. So, the idea was to have good communication, try to disguise a little bit. And we weren't able to really execute any part of it. So, there was a couple, decent plays there, but at the end of the day, they made more plays than we did, and we needed to do more to keep them out of the end zone, and we didn't. So, good team, but we didn't execute our game plan defensively, and we've got to be better. Yeah. I think just collectively as a defense, we just didn't do enough. I think there's a lot that goes into it. We didn't get enough rush. We didn't get enough disguise. We didn't, to just put it on two guys. I think that's not. We try to play team defense here, and we didn't get it done as a unit. As a coaching staff, we need to put them in better positions. We didn't, and they executed. They made some plays as well. So give them credit, but we got to play better. Yeah. No, I'm concerned. We're out of sync, in a lot of ways. Run defense, pass rush. We're just a little bit a step behind, I would say. So, we got to make a lot of corrections. A lot of things we've got to address, and we'll do that. And we've been doing that. We've addressed some things, but we're not seeing the production on Sundays, and really that's all that matters. So, but yeah, I would say we're a little bit out of sync. I thought he was. His toughness, his competitiveness, obviously showed. I thought he did, a lot of good things, put us in some good positions. But we need a team effort. If you're going to beat a team like that, we didn't do enough in the other phases. But I thought he made a lot of tough throws. I thought we were able to move the ball, better than we've done in prior games, and at least that's something we can build off of.
Last week you mentioned the focus, concentration, not being there. Did you see some of the same things happening again?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Last week you mentioned the focus, concentration, not being there. Are you still seeing some of those same issues? I think we played a more disciplined game. You didn't see the penalties. We had some penalties, but we didn't see the real bad penalties, the false starts, the mental lapses from a penalty standpoint that we've had. There was obviously some miscommunication in some areas, but I think they made some plays and we didn't. I would say specifically defensively, and then look, we turned the ball over. They did, and that always hurts.
Brian, are you into the decision to move some parts around on the offensive line? line, including Austin Jackson inside. And on first blush, how do you consider it?
We just felt like that was probably, the best move is to move Austin inside and put Liam outside. I thought they both had a good week of practice in there. Austin inside and Liam outside. I'd have to look at the film and see what that really looked like. But just, my initial just looking at it looked like it was okay. But I definitely got to watch the film and take a look. I thought we did some good things offensively. So, hopefully some things to build on there, but, we've got to, there's, as a team, we have a lot of things we have to improve on.
System that Gossi was relaying directly to the coaching perspective. Is that the case?
Yeah, we kind of streamlined it a little bit. And as an offense, we felt like that was the best thing to do. And, that was a little bit of a change, along with some of the things on the offensive line.
How do you think streamlining that decision to just have Gossi go directly to Kobe? How does that help? Like, what's the idea of
Time, basically. We felt like the couple extra seconds was, we could use it. As far as we had a couple shifts, motions, things like that. It was more time.
How was that decision made? Because you were still, the coaches were still defending the system.
Yeah, earlier in the week. Yeah.
What's the plan for Tua this week?
Tua is, he's doing everything he can to get back. He's like I've said in previous media sessions, he threw Wednesday, he threw Friday. He's making progress. We'll see what it looks like. Hopefully, we can activate him and practice him this week. And we'll see what the week of practice looks like. Obviously, he's still dealing with some with the fracture in the ribs, so that's there'll definitely be some things from a pain tolerance standpoint he'd have to deal with. So we'll just see how he does with that, and we'll just try to take it one day at a time. Thank you.
All right, there you go. That is Flo. And listen, the one, if you want to call it a money quote that I got from it was, I'm concerned. We're out of sync. And I'm glad that he is admitting to it and addressing it. And, there's a lot of things that make Flo look bad right now. And the fact that his team is not responding, the fact that his defense has fallen apart, the fact that players are not improving whatsoever on this team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. It's almost like I got to go, okay, Jalen Phillips picked up his first sack. I don't know if I credit anything on the coaching staff right now. Because if everybody else is playing so piss poor, then maybe it's just Jalen Phillips working hard on his own, and he's the one that's improving on his own. Because right now, I don't see their best players playing their best. I don't see improvement overall from the unit on defense. And then I don't see a team that showed up for 3 weeks in a row on defense. The Oakland game, defense didn't show up. The Bills game, defense didn't show up. The Colts game, defense didn't show up. Today, defense didn't show up. I mean, it gets to a point, and somebody just on the chat board while I'm watching Flo, and I'm looking at the chat board. Somebody says on the chat board, it's a bad look for Flo that a lot of people said Austin Jackson, including, by the way, Omar Kelly, said that Austin Jackson should be playing guard and put Eichenberg at tackle. And you did that, and maybe this is one of your better performances from those young guys. Maybe that's where they belong. I mean, I got to go look at the tape and see, how well they played or whatever, but it didn't look like Jacoby was running for his life constantly. And this is something that it took you that long to kind of figure it out, and it makes you look bad. It just does. And that's a problem for Flo. And Flo's stubbornness at times has kind of set him back in certain situations. And this is one of them. Listen, I hope Austin Jackson finds a home at left guard. And I hope Eichenberg is your left tackle. But if Eichenberg's your best tackle, are you putting him on the right side? And what I mean by the right side, I don't mean like left and right. I mean, is that the right place for him to be at? Because next week, the guy's left-handed. And so his backside is the right side. And Jesse Davis is the guy that got him injured. And Jesse Davis is never going to be a great tackle. Tough, man. It is tough sledding right now going on with the Dolphins. Robert Kosak, thank you, sir. Appreciate the love on the super chat. Says, hey man, I hope today is your last day on earth. So do I. I hope so too, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you for wishing my death. That's very kind of you. At least, you sent in a couple bucks to make sure I die. Is that enough for the burial? It is? Okay. All right. He says it's enough. As long as Sean says it's enough, we're all good. Big O, bring out the bat. Why? What happened? Who needs to get blocked out here? Somebody being abusive? This team is pathetic. That's what Chris A says. Zach Hamill says, we don't even have our pick. Ha ha. Oh my God. Leon Fresco says they have to switch Hunt and Davis, and they might be onto something. That might be next, Leon. That might take till like week 16 for them to do that one. That's kind of what it is. Leon, it's kind of like it's the delayed type of thing here for the Miami Dolphins. Nige says a good player should be able to play in any positions. No, not really. That's nice in theory, but that's actually not accurate. But I mean, you can think whatever you want if you want to. Chris A dismantled a top 10 defense from last year to now a near the bottom of the league in every category. Had an offense that could put up points last year to now in the bottom 2 of the league in every statistic. Chris, you, sir, bring up excellent points. Can't argue with any of that. Ramona says, I was on Bucks Report on Friday with Tom. I got to wear a Bucks t-shirt from Smack Apparel for the Finns' loss. Well, there you go. Oh, you are on fire bandwagon, Greer bandwagon now? No, I'm not. I'm not about firing any of these guys yet. Now, I want to see what they do from here on out. I kind of expected them to lose today. Today I kind of expected it. I'm disappointed. The heat now, for me, personally starts going on more on flow. Look, either way, I don't think one guy survives and the other one doesn't. You understand that, right? So by the end of the year or in another year, because I don't think they'll fire anybody even after this season, I think they'll give both guys an opportunity to come back to kind of redeem themselves, which I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, but that's probably what's going to happen. But in the end, they're tied. They're tied to each other. So that's where, whether if you think only one is a problem or you think both is a problem, if they're going to make a change, it'll be on both, guaranteed, the next time around, whether it's this year or next year. But I'm not ready to fire them yet. I'm not ready to say, oh, no, they got to go and this and that. You get now the rest of your schedule plays out. Let's see what you do from here on out. You get Tua back this week. Let's see if things pick up. But I want to see what happens, especially on defense. I want to see what the hell Flo does. because a lot of these changes he wanted, and he got his changes. Rosendo says you got to have faith. That's nice in theory if you're a blind ass fan and you want to say you want to have faith, but that only happens with blind ass fans. Anybody that's normal and a
blind ass fan alert! Look out, everyone! We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
Off and sick and tired of losing. I can't blame any fan that's just, they're done. I can't blame them because the perception right now is nothing's changed. It's the same old Dolphins. And what am I going to do? Argue with somebody and tell them no? What evidence do I have? What evidence do any of us have to say, oh, stay positive? Even though I'm not at the point with you guys, some of you out there, oh, no, you got to fire everybody. I still have enough patience to wait for Austin Jackson and for Noah Igbenogany and Chris Greer and Flo and all that. But I'm pissed right now. I'm pissed. And I'm especially pissed at Flo more than anything else because I know he's had a lot of influence with what's gone on, including like what I see with X. Because one guy negotiated the contract one way, and then they had to alter it. I don't think the guy that negotiated it wanted to alter it. I think the guy that's coaching the team was the guy that was, politicking for him. Oh, no, great X is a great guy, and we need him, and he's a great player, and I want to coach X and all that. And you don't hear Flo go like that out for players. So for me, personally, the guy that I'm really, really focused in on is Flo. He's done a really nice job of bouncing back the first 2 years. I want to see what he does now in the next 12 games. I know what was going to happen here. I was hoping it'd be a better performance. It was disgusting. But that wasn't going to change how I think. Next week, you lose to Jacksonville, things will start to change, my friends. Things will start to change. The Dolphins better not lose next week. That's all I got to say. Okay? I understand this Bucs game, and I get it. They're the world champions, and Miami's nowhere near where they're at, and especially with this coaching staff, they're certainly not there. Let's see. Call Tom Coughlin to whip up these players into shape. Yeah. That'll definitely get it done. He was a difference maker in Jacksonville. Gailey retired because he didn't agree with Flo's move to bench Fitz last year. Probably. I mean, the young kid wasn't ready. That in hindsight, all of that falls on Flo last year. If your offensive coordinator is not a big fan of the move, and the quarterback at the end of the year tells you, well, I didn't really know the playbook that well. Well, then Gailey knows because he's in the meetings every day with the kid. So if Gailey knows he's not ready and Flo overrid him, that's on Flo. So the problem with rookie coaches is that you hope that they learn quickly and that they're going to make mistakes because you and I make mistakes. We all make mistakes when we start something new. But you cannot keep making the kind of mistakes that are going to cost your team wins and games. And you keep Austin Jackson at left tackle when you could have moved him to left guard a couple games back. You knew he struggled all of last year at left tackle. You knew Eichenberg has tackle ability and Robert Hunt has tackle ability. And if you keep Jesse Davis at right tackle and Tua gets hurt again because of that, that's on you again, Flo. And like I told you last year, clearly Gailey was against the move. And yet Flo did it anyways. And so Flo put a quarterback that wasn't prepared to start. It's on Flo, dude. A lot of this is on Flo, more than anything else. Guys that aren't improving, on flow. Stars that aren't playing to their level, on flow. Jacoby Brissett, on flow. It's a lot of stuff that goes on flow. And he has to fall on that sword. At least my team won a Super Bowl. Joe, you bum. Come on, Big O. Remember, tune-up time 2021, title time 2022. We're still winning the title next year. It's just, this year was the rope-a-dope. That's all it is this year. This year's to kind of freak out the league. Oh, they're not that good, and then they'll come back next year and storm all the way to the title. And people go, wow, they came out of nowhere. And then I'll sit back and say, no, I told you guys the title will be in 2022. Thanks for your coverage and keeping it real. We all just want the Dolphins to succeed. It's frustrating seeing Herbert throw another touchdown. Meanwhile, our QB is made of glass. Yep. Can't argue with that, man. Can't argue with that right now. I can't argue with the feelings that you guys have. The feelings you have are accurate right now. You should feel cheated. You should feel like the team is letting you down, that players are letting you down. I was with you guys, a lot of you guys. I got suckered too. I thought, they'd turned the corner and they were ready to be a good franchise this year. And so far, maybe they still are. We still got 12 games. So you got plenty of time and very winnable games. But right now, it's not looking like we're going to go where we want. Oh, please, for the love of God, bat Joe Floss. Who's Joe Floss? I haven't seen anything from Joe Floss that is... Where's Joe Floss? Who's Joe Floss, dude? But I don't see any Joe Flosses here. Look, I'm scrolling. Oh, here it is. Pat, do you have any more tissues for your Fins performance? Fins suck, period. Tua will break his ribs against my Bills again. Okay. Well, Joe Floss is a Bills fan. I mean, he's loving life right now, and he's enjoying our misery. Well, what can I tell you? Kenneth McDonald says 9-3 over the next 12 would be ideal. Tua would make a difference if he gets the ball out so much quicker. Plus, he has accuracy. Yeah, but if the defense doesn't show up, it doesn't matter, my man. That's the problem. And remember, if you want to make a donation on Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show, that's Cash Big O Show. You can put in your question also on Cash App or Venmo. If you have a question there, I will definitely answer the question. Manuel Malo, thank you, sir, on a super chat. I can't believe I was optimistic about this season, and Herbert being good is just adding insult to injury. And that's exactly what a lot of fans feel. Whether it's Justin or any of you other guys out there, and Manuel, I mean, what am I going to do? I'd love to tell you guys, oh, don't feel that way. You're wrong. This is why you got to feel this way. I can't right now. I'd love to, but I cannot. Really is tough, man. We will have Omar Kelly, by the way, when he is ready post-game, and we'll talk to Omar. Alan is not going to join us today. Alan is under the weather. He is hurting right now in a big-time way. It is not COVID-related, but he does have kind of some kind of like a cold, in other words. Which, by the way, I got my booster shot yesterday. Yeah. Went yesterday. No lines either. That was awesome. Like the first time when I had to go get my shot, there was a line of like 30 people deep or something like that. And I was there for a couple of hours. And yesterday I just walked right in. Nobody's there. Got my booster shot, left. Got my card updated. Boom. I got a new card too because the original card I got laminated. And I'm going to laminate this one too. And they put in the two shot. They refilled in they copied it, in other words, The person put in the 2 shots and then the booster, and now I'll laminate that bitch too, just in case I got to travel or whatever, and I got to get it going, man. Stir up them antibodies. Now I have more antibodies, and it didn't affect me at all. Like the first time around, I didn't. Thank the Lord, I didn't get affected whatsoever. Man of 1,005 holds says, "I'll give Greer and Flores one more year. We don't have any studs right now. We just have Jags at every position. Hope I'm wrong and we see studs." I'll tell you a guy that I am concerned about now. I am starting to be concerned about one gentleman, and his name is Jalen Waddle. I love Jalen Waddle's speed. He looks like a fantastic young man, right? He looks like a great kid overall. Doesn't look like he's going to be, at least for now, a diva, right? He looks like he can be a really good pro as a professional overall. But his hands are not good. His hands are mediocre. For a first-round pick, I have watched him drop too many balls already in an incredibly short time of 5 games. You got rid of Jakeem Grant. What the hell's the difference? Seriously. So we got another fast guy that can't catch balls? I mean, this can't be true, right? This has to be an aberration. This has to be a minor phase that the kid is going through, right? That's what we're talking about, right? Tell me that Jalen Waddle is going through a phase. Please tell me that. I mean, if that's the case, if that's not the case, I am going to be really, really disappointed in this first-round pick. Because for a first-round pick and the number 6 overall, you haven't shown me good hands. I'm just saying. Disappointing as hell, I got to say. His hands. That one I am really concerned about right now with him. Let's see. Did Albert Wilson play today? Savage says, "You're tripping hard, bro. Waddle is a beast." So, Waddle has shown good hands, Savage? Answer that question. Has Waddle shown good hands in 5 games? Please answer that question. Tell me that you've seen good hands from Waddle in 5 games. Yeah, Jerome Baker is stealing money without a gun and a mask. That's what's going on. Byron Jones and Jerome Baker are absolutely stealing money without a gun and a mask. That is, boom, guaranteed. All elite receivers have dropping issues in the beginning. It's just a phase. Oh, please. Give me a break. Talk about a cheap-ass excuse. You either drop them or you catch them, one of the two. Now, I agree with you. Waddle didn't drop passes in Alabama. So I agree with you. I think it's a phase. But if you don't want to admit to yourself that he has sucked catching the ball in the first 5 games, then I get it. You like to lie to yourself. You actually don't like to tell the truth. I guess you're the guy that likes to fool your own self or something like that. Come on, man. He has sucked catching the ball so far through 5 games. Whether it's a phase or not, I agree with you. I think it is a phase. But the facts are Waddle sucks catching the ball right now. That's all. He's just not reliable. Until I see him catch it on a consistent basis, then I'll believe it. But I don't see him catching it on a consistent basis. And that's the problem. He can get better. No, I know he better improve. Let's see. Yeah, but we don't know if Andy Reid or Pat Mahomes, so this dream of Waddle could be ridiculous. He's too small and can't catch. I'm not saying he's terrible, but he's not a number 1 receiver. Now, I mean, Waddle can easily be a number 1 wide receiver. The problem is right now, you don't have an elite quarterback to get Waddle to that point, and Waddle right now is young and struggling on catching the ball on a consistent basis. He drops passes pretty much in every game this season. And he was back there for 1 punt, and he dropped it twice. Twice, the guy drops a punt. Not once, twice. Let's see. Jamar Chase was dropping balls in the preseason. It will get better. Yeah, but that's the preseason. I don't mind if you can go through your dropsies in the preseason and then the regular season shows up. But in the regular season, I don't want you dropping any balls. You need to catch them all. All right, let's hear from Jacoby Brissett. He is ready to go. He addressed the media. Let's see what the quarterback told the media after today's thrashing at the hands of the Bucs. Are we ready to go? Here he is, Jacoby Brissett.
Appreciate it.
How are you feeling?
I mean, we had our chance, Just tough loss. After, but we got to find a way to bounce back and move forward. Go watch the film and find the things that we did good. Do those more. Things that we didn't do good, do those less.
It's like you want to depart and then come back. What was that process like?
I went and came back, and that was the process. Yeah, kept going.
Your teammates are raving about your toughness and what you do lock and so against the offensive line. Where does all of that come from?
I guess from my love of the game, love for my teammates, love for this sport, and it comes with everything that I believe in. I mean, I wouldn't do it for somebody to say something to you guys, something for you guys to know, but that's just who I am. I just love everything about it.
You start what you felt before going back inside because the last play you saw from you was something touchdown pass. You go and you don't miss anything. You don't miss the opportunity. You're back to you're out there. Just what was going on there?
I had just to go to the locker room and then come back out. I had to go do something.
Was there ever a question whether you were going to be able to continue?
Oh, not a chance. Yeah, not a chance.
What can you say about Miles Gaskin? What did you able to do out there today?
I thought he did a great job today. And his role is obviously expanding, and you see him catching balls down the field. I think he, made a lot of plays for us. Got to find ways to continue to get him the ball, and I thought he did a great job.
This might seem kind of obvious, but the part right back was just to make sure that you got back to the game in time.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't want to run, and I could just get on the car and get there faster. Yeah, obvious.
Yeah.
So the part was about convenience, not injury.
Yeah. I mean, I still was playing, so clearly convenience. Yeah. Well, you saw me out there.
I know the guys in one part.
Oh, yeah, for convenience. For convenience.
Okay. So you guys are 1-4. I know you go one game at a time. What's the belief in this locker room that you guys can start putting games consistently?
I think it just goes back to practice, and believing on what we're doing. Obviously, the cliche is early in the season, but it really is. We got a lot of football ahead of us, and we can't focus so much on the results as far as just more so getting better each week, in which I think we are. I know I continue to say it, but we actually are getting better. And then they'll start to pile up when they start to pile up. I think we got the right group of guys that understand that, hey, we didn't sign up for an easy task. It's not like everybody was saying that the Miami Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl. But, I think we got the right amount of the right guys, the right men, the right coaches, that we're continuing to learn each other and put each other in the right positions and make plays. So, I think that's the process, and I think that's what we're doing.
There was talk on the CBS broadcast that the Dolphins kind of streamline the way they get the play calling for the quarterback. What can you tell us about how that process went today? How smooth was it? How comfortable was it for you as a QB to get the signal for the play?
Yeah, it was no different. The only thing was George was on the headset, but that was about it. It was the same type of communication that we've had all year. So, yeah.
What is the possibility that Tua comes back and this week he can be activated? What changes for you?
That's not my call.
Your approach to the same. I know you were saying you approach things at the start.
You didn't ask a question.
Your approach stays the same?
Oh, for sure. No question.
Was there a concerted effort to spread the ball? Because you had so many different receivers you were looking at today. Was that a concerted effort or just out of place game to you?
I think it was a mixture of both. We put a lot of different guys in different positions. Obviously having Preston out there, he made a bunch of plays for us. But, I think the effort was to find ways to get everybody the ball, get everybody involved. I thought we did that at times. Obviously got to make more plays and continue to find ways to get these guys the ball.
There's a play where it looked like you saw Miles in the flat, and you worked off of him, and then went back to him, like right as the pop kick was collapsing. Did you actually see him when you threw that ball?
Yeah.
From our angle, it looked like the ball just popped out.
Oh, no, I saw him. Yeah, the one to the right, right? Down there. Yeah, I saw him.
Can you speak to the role that he played today? 10 or 11 targets.
Yeah. No, he's that's who he is. As a guy that works hard. And it's evident that his work is starting to show. Obviously getting him the ball in space, and he was making a lot of plays for us. Obviously, like that. He's just a dependable guy, and that's what you want as a quarterback and as a teammate.
Last question.
How did you feel as far as just being in sync with your guys downfield? It felt like you had 120 yards in the first quarter. It felt like you were.
Yeah, like I said, I know contrary to what you guys think, but we actually are getting better, and we are finding our spots. We're finding the guys that can do what I can do in this offense, and we're starting to build on that. And as the season goes on, that's what you hope to happen is you continue to just keep building and building and building. Thank you.
There we go. It's a beautiful thing. Jacoby Brissett. I don't even know what to do to follow up with that, to be honest with you. Jacoby's he's here for the rest of the year, and then he won't be in a Dolphin uniform ever again. That's all I can tell you. All right, let's take a quick break from Sports Grill here in Miami Lakes. Remember, next week we're here early for breakfast. So come on over. We're going to have chicken and waffles. We're going to have shrimp and grits, all kinds of stuff. We will be on the air at 7:30 in the morning next Sunday here because they're in London next week. It's a 9:30 game, and we'll be doing our pregame show at 7:30 in the morning here at Miami Lakes. Remember, we're here for 3 more games, and then we move over to Bird Road and 114th for the remainder of the year. By the way, Justin Herbert has thrown for 2 touchdowns already in his game, just to add insult to injury to what's going on in our world here with the Miami Dolphins. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. Hour number 2 is back. Hour number 2 will be back. We'll take your questions, your comments. Remember, if you want to make a donation, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. The text line, it's really simple, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. I will go to the text line when we come back also to start off hour number 2 right here on the Big O Radio Show, live from Sports Grill in Miami Lakes.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Lollipop, blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
All right, we are back. Hour number 2 here of the program. Coming to you live, baby, from Sports Grill right here in Miami Lakes. Remember, next week, we're here starting at 7:30 in the morning with our pregame show, and we're going to be serving breakfast, too, out here. So a little chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits and eggs and bacon. And, of course, you can have your regular stuff. If you want to have a burger at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, you go ahead and have a burger at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you want wings, you can do that, too. I mean, I could probably, I can eat the special grilled wings probably at any time, day or night. So, now that I think about it, I I can't fault you if you want some wings that early in the morning. But anyway, we will be serving breakfast next week here as we make it a thing here to be every week at Sports Grill. So we want to gather up all the Dolph fans all over the place to come on out and join us out here at Miami Lakes. So appreciate all of you out there as always. I told you that if you wanted to get in, 855-912-1056 is the text line. If you want to chime in, I can read some of your texts. Wow, there's a lot of text. Holy crap. There is a lot of text going on. All right, let's see what we got. Let's start it off here. Do you think the Dolphins is going to go after Watson and bring him to Miami? What do you think? My friend, I can't answer that until I watch Tua for the rest of the season. So starting next week, if Tua stays healthy, we shall see how he plays the whole year. If he plays well and they win, I doubt they'll go after Watson. If he doesn't play well, they'll go after Watson. If he gets injured again, they have to go after Aaron Rodgers or Watson. Because in my eyes, I'm going to go after Aaron Rodgers over Watson. I get that you can get Watson for a longer amount of time, but I don't trust Watson. So that's my problem with Watson. I think Watson's a bonehead. And in South Florida, Deshaun Watson, that's dangerous, dude. That's dangerous. So I can't answer that question until I see the remainder of the 12 games this year, and then we can talk about it. But right now, there's too much up in the air. I wonder if Holland felt alone out there on defense today. Hope the kid doesn't break down, Ohio John. If he breaks down, then he's not the guy. That's all. Still a rookie, so plenty of time. Tank for QB, coaches, owner, team logo, defensive line, offensive line, DBs, linebackers, wide receivers, running backs. In other words, he thinks they need an entire team. Let's see. Should we trade Xavier Howard to Jacksonville for a first? Is Jacksonville offering some picks or pick? How do you know? I'm not sure. They should probably trade Watson to Jacksonville so he and Urban Meyer can go around bars all over Jacksonville. That's probably what they should do. Urban will feel them up, and Watson will hire them for massages. Let's see. First and second round tackles are getting switched to guard. That means you blew the pick. No, that doesn't mean anything. That's not true. Who told you that? Plenty of guards go in the first and second rounds. It doesn't matter if Austin Jackson ends up at guard, it still becomes a successful pick. Where it doesn't become a successful pick is if he can't play guard or tackle or center. That's when it doesn't become a successful pick. Some of you all out there, I don't know what kind of reasoning you use. Who gives a crap where any of these five guys end up? I don't care if Michael Dieter ends up as your left tackle, and I don't care if Austin Jackson ends up as your center, and Eichenberg your guard, and Hunt your right tackle, and Solomon Kinley takes over. I don't care what position they end up. If you hit on three of the five and they play any positions, you had a hell of a draft. If you hit on two, you did all right. If you hit on one, you didn't do well. And if you hit on none, that was terrible. That's how it goes. Doesn't matter what position. Give me a break, dude. It's ridiculous. Let's see. What else do we know here? I know you are a wait-and-see guy, but I've noticed that the last three head coaches we brought in, Philbin, Gase, and Flo, didn't have major say or significant contributions to their prior team's positions. That's not true. Gase had a lot of influence on personnel. That's what I think is wrong with Flo. He has way too much influence on personnel. Philbin had McCarthy. Gase had Peyton. Flo had Belichick. They would rather be lazy and bring in players that they are familiar with than coach. That part I can't answer. You know, I guess it's the devil you know instead of the devil you don't know. I guess that's what. And let me tell you something. Lots of coaches do this. It's not just a Gase and a Flow thing. Lots of coaches bring in people that they are comfortable with. Okay. How many times did Tampa punt today? I think once, maybe, right? Or twice? Yeah. Not too much. You didn't need Jakeem Grant too much this week. Where's the Flow from 2 years ago that was yelling on the sidelines? You don't see him this year. Well, he doesn't have anything to yell about. The only yelling he could do is at himself. That's the problem. Who else is he going to yell at? He's got to blame himself for the mess that's going on right now. Oh, can you go into detail about those onion rings, please? James in the DR. Well, the onion was crispy, was sweet. So when you bite into the onion, it broke the onion, like you took the piece of the onion, not like you bit it and then you dragged out the rest of the onion from the entire onion ring. You know how that is? No. These were done good. The batter was nice, and it was like soft crispy. You know, it was one of those deals. You know, that kind of. It was good, man. It was good. It was really good. They do a really good job with their. If you come out to Sports Grill, you know, at any time, day or night, weekends, whatever, or when we're out here, ask for the onion rings. Onion rings are good, man. They do a nice job with the onion rings. Big O, on the bright side, the O-line looked respectable. They actually did a better job. No doubt. And hopefully, one of the things I told you the last couple of weeks was the O-line needs to improve as much as possible before Tua gets back. That's the important part. Is the defense missing Van Noy and McCain, not for their play, but because those two guys were getting in guys in the right spot? I can't figure out what has gone so wrong on defense. Well, that has nothing to do with Byron Jones getting burned or X getting burned. So, no, I don't think so. And Van Noy did not play well last year. Van Noy was not worth the money. That's why Flo brought him in, and then Flo got rid of him. Big O, the team looks like they are still trying to recover from the 56-26 Week 17 beatdown by the Bills. Mal from Virginia. Mal, what am I going to do, argue with you, bro? They look terrible. And the defense was pathetic. I don't want to fire anyone after this game. This game was expected to be a loss. Now, with the next stretch of games, we better not be playing like crap and getting embarrassed here on out. You, sir, are 1,000% right. So that's why I'm not freaking out about today. It sucks. It was embarrassing, and I blame it on Flo. But your season, you know, if you want to right the ship, it starts next week. And I want to see how you start playing against those kind of teams that you're supposed to beat. I want to see if you're beating the teams that you're supposed to beat. We lost because of Baker and Howard and Jones. Jones gave up a couple too. All three money players are not playing money ball right now. They're stealing money right now. Oh, we are not even competitive. The D is brutal. Yes, it is. It's been disgusting and embarrassing. I have to agree with you for sure. Another text. Big O, we wanted at least to be respectable this week, and thus far we look pretty damn competitive. I like what I'm seeing so far. Ricky, that must have been like when it was 10-10 early in the game. I was actually feeling it too. Okay, so now I'm getting to the texts that are probably a little too early. Let's see. These guys are really freaking blocking. Wow. Okay, so see, these are coming in when it was the early part of the game that they were doing it. Let's see. Dolphins, a definition of insanity. One guy says, okay. I'm sorry? Oh, okay. What do we, oh, we got, okay. Give me a second here. Let me get these last two here. Hey, ranch, ketchup, or mustard with your onion rings? I think I'm going to disappoint a lot of you out there. Dude, I'm so plain Jane. Ketchup. I mean, I ate it plain, the onion ring that he gave me, because it was Sean's order. I said, dude, I got to steal one. They look really good. I didn't need any dipping, but normally if I have to use a dipping, it's ketchup, dude.
No, I ate the other 9 and used no dip as well.
Right.
They're very good.
They're so good, man. You didn't need any dipping. So, yeah, I would use ketchup, but I'm lame, dude. I'm not the guy you want to ask about that stuff. Look, you want the ultimate insult? I put ketchup on my hot dog. And that's like a no-no. You know what I mean? It's mustard and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sorry. I'm the wrong guy. I'm kind of lame when it comes to that stuff. Grade Greer 1 to 10 on how much potential. Well, right now there's no grade. Right now they're failing, dude. You know what I mean? The season's not over yet. The season's not over for Jalen Phillips. The season's not over for Jalen Waddle. The season's not over for Tua. The season's not over for Austin Jackson. So I got to wait for these 12 games to be played out, and then I can tell you, okay, this, and this, and this, and this. But right now, dude, who's succeeding? Anywhere on the team. Not offense, not defense, not coaches, not front office. Nobody's succeeding right now, dude. Everybody is getting an F right now. Everyone. From Greer all the way down to the trainers. Everybody's getting an F right now. Come on, man. I mean, they would give themselves an F right now. If they're honest. Right now, you're 1-4. You've had some pathetic performances. Yeah, hell yeah, you guys you're all failing, unfortunately. But that's not done now. That's done at the end of the year. So let's wait. All right, let's get the latest. Let's bounce around the NFL. Let's get the scores with our man Sean Stanley. Sean, what's up?
All right, things got started early this morning, 9:30 to be exact. London game. The Falcons, they downed the Jets 27-20. Matt Ryan, 33 of 45, 342, 2 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts coming out party, 9 receptions, 119 yards, and a touchdown. We go to some other games around the NFL. The Patriots, they beat the Texans 25-22. Mac Jones, 23 of 30, 231 yards, a touchdown and interceptions. Davis Mills, not a bad day, 21 of 29, 312, and 3 touchdowns. The Titans, all over the Jaguars, 37-19. Derrick Henry, a big day, 29 carries, 130 yards, 3 touchdowns. James Robinson put in a full day's work, 18 carries, 149 yards, and a touchdown in the losing effort. The Eagles, they beat the Panthers 21-18. Jalen Hurts, 22 of 37, a little under 200 yards and an interception. Sam Darnold, 21 of 37, 177 yards, a touchdown, 3 interceptions. Jameis Winston and the Saints, they take down the Washington football team 33-20. Winston, 15 of 30, 279 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. Of course, the score here in Tampa was the Bucs 45, the Fins 17. Jacoby Brissett, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Tom Brady, 30 of 41, 411 yards, 5 touchdowns in the victory. The Broncos, they lose to the Steelers 27-19. Teddy Bridgewater, a good day, 24 of 38, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns and interceptions. Najee Harris, 23 carries, 122 yards, and a touchdown in the victory. The Vikings, 19-17 winners over the Lions. Kirk Cousins, 25 of 34, 275 yards, a touchdown and an interception. And in the game we were watching here, Mason Crosby missed 3 field goals, but in the end, he did kick the field goal for the winner in overtime, 25-22 over the Bengals. Rodgers went 27-39, 344 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception, as well as Joe Burrow's 26 of 38, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Looking at some of the games going on right now, the Bears, they lead the Raiders 7-3 with 4:02 to go in the second. The Browns, they trail the Chargers 13-10. Herbert does have 2 touchdown passes, 3:49 to go in the second. Cowboys 10-0 over the Giants, 11:59 to go in the second. And the Cardinals are up over the 49ers 7-0, 11:26 to go till halftime there. Big O, got you caught up around the NFL. Back to you.
There we go. It's a beautiful thing. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Remember, 855-912-1056 is the text line. If you want to get in, you can chime in and send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. Of course, you can reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. You want to make a donation to the program, you can do that through Cash App and Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Appreciate it there. Let's see. Dolphins obviously lose big to the Bucs. There was a lot of things in this game that stood out to me besides X and Jones and Baker just absolutely playing terrible. Jacoby Brissett and the offense hung in there. Romo, by the way, announced, and this is kind of an interesting story, Sean. Romo mentioned on the broadcast that Flo eliminated Charlie Fry from relaying the calls to Tua. So now Godsey is talking directly to Tua. Now, Feely and Trent Dilfer were completely off when they said that Charlie Fry is calling the offense. And even Trent, went on to say, Charlie Fry is one of the great young offensive guys coming up in this league and all that stuff. Let me tell you something, what happened here. Flo punished Charlie Fry for talking crap. And maybe Charlie Fry didn't relay it correctly to Trent Dilfer, but somebody was telling Trent Dilfer. And if Trent Dilfer is practically blowing Charlie Fry on the air, then they must be buddies, right? Because he's talking about Charlie Fry like he's the second coming. And Charlie Fry was never calling the plays. It was always Godsey calling the play to Fry, and then Fry tells Tua the play, but Fry can give him suggestions, not change the play, but tell him, hey, when you do this, look out for this or that. So there's a couple of things that are going on here. One, they weren't happy with whatever communication Fry was making with the quarterbacks. Or two, Charlie was talking too much out of line, and Flo put him in line. But that's kind of a little bit of a controversy behind the scenes. We'll never find out about it, at least now while people are still employed. Okay? If some of these people become unemployed, and I'm not talking about Flo, some of the other people involved become unemployed, maybe the info comes out down the line. All right, do we have Omar ready to go? All right, let's get ready for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins post-game report.
The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Omar Kelly from the South Florida Sunset. And, of course, you can catch him here, right here on the program with the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. The question I have for you, Omar, all right, when Byron Jones, when Jerome Baker, and X come to the podium, do they leave their masks and guns somewhere else because they are stealing money without a gun and a mask?
Here's the thing. I don't think anybody is doing a good job. I think everybody is stealing money, if that's the way you're going to put it. Xavier Howard is being asked to defend crossers all game with against Antonio Brown. That's just with no help. That's just a recipe for disaster. But obviously, that's what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do to you. And they put you in difficult positions, and they've got an arsenal on offense. There is no weakness to their offense. Great offensive line, 3 great receivers, 3 good tight ends that they literally start for any NFL team. Two very good running backs, even though their focus isn't on the run game. Quarterback, greatest of all time. So offensively, I mean, what did you expect the defense to do? They eventually.
I expect them to make some stops, bro. They were pathetic today. Actually, the offense showed up early on and made it a game, and these guys never showed up, dude. Nobody showed up. They did not get it done whatsoever. Oh, I mean, they really let the team down today. In fact, the defense has been pathetic for 3 weeks. They were thoroughly embarrassed last week. They were a joke against the Bills. They gave up their share of stuff, too, against the Raiders. But the last 3 weeks, the defense has been – and that's where the money is at, man.
Tell me.
That's where the big-time players are. Those are the guys that are supposed to make some plays, and they're not making any plays.
There's one big-time player on the team. Tell me anybody who's doing – tell me name the person who's doing a good job right now. You could go front office. You could go coaching staff.
Nobody.
You could go players.
Nobody. There's nobody doing well. You know what? It's not his fault, but he does well every time he touches the damn ball. Myles Gaskin, actually. It's not his fault.
Yeah,
actually,
when he touches the ball,
when he touches the ball,
but what about pass protection?
No, I get it, but when he touches the ball, he is productive.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't use him as pass protection much.
No, because this is a game where there was a different game plan, and Gaskin 4.9 yards per carry for the season, only 167 rushing yards. Like what they ran for 35 yards this game. Like there's no commitment to the run. There's no. You're not doing anything well. Let's not pretend.
No, there's nothing. Nothing's going well, dude. No, I agree with that. There's nothing. But today, the offense actually was doing a decent job early on, and the defense really never got off the bus.
I think that
today we have to say that at least.
I think that had more to do with the line not leaking as much. But it's you still gave up 3 sacks, but there wasn't a leak every other play, which is
no, they were better today, dude. It wasn't like that was running for his life all the time. By the way, did the offensive line coach, are they going to buy you a beer or something? Because obviously they moved Jackson to guard because you told them.
Nah, I'm not taking credit for that. That's just.
Well, I'm giving you credit for it.
That's just an obvious. If you know line play, he's not a tackle. Like you can't deny what you're seeing.
Right.
Like, my whole thing is, and this is one of the things I do respect about Flores. He isn't afraid to try anything. He isn't afraid to fire people mid-season. Like, I was surprised somebody didn't get fired. Yeah, Jakeem got traded, but I was surprised somebody didn't get fired last week. Like, I thought it was a possibility.
Ooh.
Like, I don't know who, but he could have been a player. Could have been Noah. Who gives a shit? Like, you have to send a warning shot. Now, this to me, this stretch, I have no idea what the hell that just happened. This stretch of games was probably the toughest stretch on the schedule. And right now, from this point, everything has to get better.
Yes.
Everything has to get better. And if it doesn't get better, then, and this is what I'm right now in the sense of, if you can't make what you're seeing, which looks like a disaster, get better, after you can't keep talking about, we haven't found our rhythm, we haven't found our identity after 5 games, because that's, that's nearly 1/3 of the season. Like, you're looking at a full-fledged rebuild because this is trash. It's all trash.
God.
And that means a
painful word, bro.
That means we've wasted the last 3 years.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Like, and understand, NFL teams run in 4-year cycles. That's just the reality of it. But do you really want to continue this in a 4-year cycle?
No, you have to. No, you can't, because you have to show more by the end of this year. You have to show a lot more if you want to continue the cycle. Like, Tua has to, like, in other words, in the next 12 games, if Tua balls out, then okay, now things start to change a little bit because you did get your quarterback.
But now we're asking a guy with broken ribs who probably have to play shot up in a flak jacket, scared to get hit, behind a bad offensive line. Come save us. That's a horrible situation. I know he's like one of the greatest quarterbacks in college football history, and he's a legend, and he's but come on, man.
Well, that's Flo's fault. He should have put more experience on the line. With a young quarterback,
Wait. Chris Greer's responsible for that. That's not Flo's fault. I'll get Flo put responsible for a rookie offensive line coach, but Chris Greer is in charge of personnel.
Yeah, but no. Do you really, dude?
Chris Greer is in charge of personnel. Chris Greer will tell you. He sat behind me the whole game.
Omar, he's in charge of personnel. Yes. But Flo has tons of influence in personnel, just like Gase did.
Everybody. But that's the only reason, no matter who works with Chris Greer, they're always going to have heavy influence and heavy say because that's who he is.
Okay, but my point is that it was Flo that wanted Karras here and gone tomorrow. It was Flo that wanted Flowers here and gone tomorrow. It was Flo that wanted Kyle Van Noy here and gone tomorrow. It's Flo that wants Brissett here. He wanted those guys, and he's the guy that wanted those guys out because he felt he could coach up the line. That's not the GM, dude. The GM never comes down to the front to the coaching staff. Oh, you should know this. And he doesn't tell the coach, hey, you know what? I'm cutting these veterans because you can handle coaching these young guys. No. That's all on Flo. That's all. I disagree with that. That's all on Flo there.
The only reason Michael Dieter started because he's a high Dolphins draft pick.
This whole X thing is on Flo too, because the GM agreed to a different contract and wasn't paying the guy. But it was Flo that said, oh, X is great. X is my guy. I want to coach X. So Flo's the one that had the influence in, let's give him some money this year. Flo has a lot of influence on what's going on this team. It's not all Greer, dude.
It's 50-50. They're married, bro. They're married.
Okay.
Listen,
okay, that's what I'm telling you.
My wife
calls on the O-line, the calls on the O-line were all on Flo. He counted on his line and his coach to come through. The personnel department never tells you, here, take all 4 young guys and a journeyman, and you coach them up. That's not the way it works.
The head person in charge in this organization is Chris Greer.
It is. It is. And he picked Jalen Waddle. Yes. And he picks other players. Yes. But in these,
he picked Austin Jackson.
And he picked Austin Jackson. But in the ones that I'm telling you right now, those free agent moves and all that, that was Flo. That's not Greer.
They make their chart of who they want. They make their budget. They go after it. They land what they land. But yeah, I can't. Flo is responsible for what happens on Sundays. Greer is responsible for what happens every other day regarding the roster. When they cut a player tomorrow, that's Chris Greer. When they add a player tomorrow, the center that they add, that's Chris Greer. When they decide that, even when you could say
the center, you're right. The last center, yes, not Karras, but that center, yes.
It's Karras. They make
and any expatriate is all Flo. Bet your life on it. That's Flo.
He might vouch for him. He doesn't even hype up the former Patriot guys. They don't. That's just his culture guys. That's just guys who. And Parcells did it too. Parcells had his culture guys.
They all do it.
Yeah,
they all do it. Hey, Jimmy Johnson got here and brought Jack Del Rio in from Dallas to play middle linebacker, and then Zach Thomas kicked his ass right out of the damn training camp, and Jimmy had to cut him early and said, Jack, so you can go get a job, I got to let you go because I got to start this kid. So Jimmy was doing it too. Every coach does it. They bring people they're comfortable with. Jack was with him in Dallas, so he brought him here to Miami. The only thing is he didn't last very long. That's normal. The other concern I have for you, my man, is what the hell is going on with Jalen Waddle's hands? Did he borrow Jakeem Grant's hands?
No,
he drops a pass every week, bro. Every week he drops.
And he did that in training camp. It doesn't surprise me.
So did he hang out with Jakeem Grant all off season? What the hell's going on?
That's just not sure-handed receiver is not his strength.
But I don't remember that in Alabama.
I don't even have a problem with the drops. I have a problem with You're not what we saw Antonio Brown do today is exactly what we're supposed to be seeing you do, and you're not doing that. And that could be play calling, that could be talent level,
and quarterback
it's
and all that.
like I'm sorry, but if I'm the Dolphins offense
and experience.
True. I mean that's fair.
Antonio Brown.
But if I'm the Dolphins offense,
Jalen
I'm
Waddle's
taking
inside a nursery, and Antonio Brown's a grown ass man already. You know what I mean? It's
grown ass man like playing for $2 million. So if any day you want to sign him, you can sign him. But if I'm the Dolphins, I'm looking at Tampa Bay's playbook and I'm stealing 10 Antonio Brown plays. If they can get Antonio Brown as free as they can get Antonio Brown, why can't the Dolphins get Jalen Waddle as free as Antonio Brown? Even though I know he's not getting extra attention because there's so much talent on the field, but I'm sorry. Like, I'm tired of the excuses and the justification and the, we're close. Like I walked out of this press conference and they're like, we're close. We got to keep doing what we're doing. Like, no, what you're doing is not working. You need to change it. Yeah. Sticking to what you're doing is not going to be answered. Like, no, you need to change. And I respect Flo for the offensive coordinator change because clearly that shit wasn't working. So you streamlined it. Whatever. Fine. That's fine.
Well, hold on a second. I think there's a little bit more to that story. Because Jay Feely opens his mouth, Trent Dilfer opens his mouth, and Trent Dilfer goes and makes love to Charlie Fry on the air and says how much Charlie Fry is one of the great next play callers and all that. And Charlie wasn't ever calling any of the plays. So I'm wondering if Charlie didn't really explain it too well to these cats, because clearly he and Trent Dilfer have a relationship. And I'm wondering if Flo, Mr. Patriot, hated the fact that this got out and that Charlie's getting this kind of pub and it creates a controversy for him. And he says, you know what? I'm putting your ass on ice right now.
Pub for the worst offense in the league now. This was a situation where, and Flo basically said, we wanted to give the play caller more time to have the offense just. And it's true. It's like fucking playing telephone. You come out one of the fucking phones before it gets misinterpreted. It's like it's so. This is
like when
this
you were kids and one kid was telling the other.
Yeah, you play that game and you tell one kid one thing. By the time you end up at the end of the line, that kids got to play that game in school, man. By the time you end up at the end of the line, it comes a completely different something. This offense. The whole team. There's nothing good about this team.
I'm telling you, I think Flo punished Fry for diarrhea of the mouth. Seriously, because
Flo. I think Gotze had. I think more than that. I think Gotze had more of a problem that he wasn't communicating with the quarterback, and he wasn't telling the quarterback what to do on what I want you to do on this play and why.
I like that. That could be
because I'll tell you the truth, between me and you, it came out that, hey, I don't have as much control or say as people want to pretend that I do. Where did that come out from? Think about it. Because
Gotze said that?
I ain't saying that.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not saying that.
Okay, I got
it. I'm not saying that.
I'm picking up on it. Okay, I got you. Okay.
You want to blame me for some shit. Blame me for some shit I did now.
Right.
Okay. If you're gonna put it on me,
right.
Put something on me that I did.
Right.
Don't put something on me that I didn't do.
Right. Because Charlie might have given him some kind of a tip that didn't lead in the right direction. I see what you're saying. And then it changed the play in a way. He didn't change the play call, but it changed the effect of the play or something.
Listen, Flo and let's not harp on that because Flo needs to reevaluate everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah. Don't you find it a bigger indictment that, and it wasn't like that the first 2 years, that maybe sometimes the worst unit the last couple of weeks has been the defense at times? Like, it's kind of weird that.
But analyze why the defense was good last year. They were good because they were opportunistic. They got off the field on third downs and they created turnovers. That was
it. They weren't a great shutdown defense. No. They were opportunistic. You are correct.
They got off the field on third downs and they turned the ball over. That was it. That was, and maybe they were good in the red zone defensive and forced
Yes,
field
they
goals.
were. Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
That was it. You're getting none of that now. You're getting none of that offensively. You scored a crap load of points, and you know that
Can you
that
put your
had a
finger
lot
on
to
it?
do.
Why?
Huh?
Can you put your finger on it? Why?
They started fast. They were the fastest starting team in the NFL. So teams were always playing catch up against Miami. Like they had the number one scoring offense in the first quarter. And then it changed how you played, or it forced teams to play a different way, or it allowed you to be a little bit more balanced. Right now, the Dolphins are averaging 70.4 rushing yards per game. How do you win with 70.4 rushing yards per game when you're not throwing the ball particularly well?
Right.
You're averaging
that's
26. You're averaging 261 yards per game. That's your average, not passing yards. This is 261 yards per game offensively. Like, you are a disaster.
No, I'm with you. I definitely can't argue. By the way, did Jacoby Brissett get injured, or did he have to relieve himself? Which one is it? Because I almost got the feeling that it just
he doesn't want
really
you
had
to
go
think
to the bathroom.
he was listed as injury, so it was something. But I think they went and put on a knee brace or gave him a shot. He said he only took the cart because the cart was faster. That's all I know.
Okay, yeah, he's not very fast, so yeah, that's true. That's actually, speed is not a thing with Jacoby Brissett in anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not in his life. Speed is not in his life. He probably drives a golf cart to his house from the facility, knowing Jacoby Brissett. I hope it has a roof at least when it's all said and done. What did you think of the quote from Flo that said, "I'm concerned, we're out of sync"?
What have you been in sync?
Last year, at times, but this year, but at least I like the admitting of, we're not doing anything right, because he basically admitted to you guys that they are screwing it up all over the place.
It's hard to get beat 45-17 in the NFL. It's hard to get beat 45-17 in the NFL. This league is built for parity. Like it's this kind of ass whipping. You were the Middle Tennessee State of the NFL. You were the Coastal Carolina of the NFL. Like, it's hard.
As long as we're not the University of Miami of the NFL, we're
good. You actually are the University.
Oh
of
no,
the
that's
NFL
the ultimate
for the last
insult.
2 decades.
That's the ultimate insult, bro. Why are you doing that to me, bro?
You used to be good. People remember you being good. Now you're a laughing stock.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I said, at least we're not the FIU of the NFL. Okay, so there you go. Although FIU beat Miami, so that's also not good either. I don't know which one. Just don't compare us to FIU or UM. How about that? Just don't do that. No, but seriously, people have asked, is Flo losing the locker room? Do you think Flo is losing the locker room, or it's just that right now he's one of the things that he's kind of proven the first 2 years that he was really in touch with his locker room? So is he losing the locker room, or is he just completely out of touch with the locker room?
I think you guys got fooled early, and you know how I've never felt like he had such a great grasp on the locker room. I've never felt like he had such a great grasp on, I personally think that this teams have caught up to what they're doing. That's defensively. Teams have caught up to what they're doing, and they probably don't have the personnel to do it as well as they used to do it. And you don't do something as well as you used to do it, and teams have figured it out. They know how to beat it defensively. And to be honest with you, I didn't even think the numbers proved that they were good, because they were good on third downs. They were good in the red zone. They were good creating turnovers. So that made them good. When you're not good at any of those things, like, what are you converting? You're allowing 66.7% of that's fourth downs, 57.1% of third down opportunities to be converted. You're not beating nobody like that.
No, you're not. All right, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I the question is, how do you, and I don't. And you know this, because I've said this to you probably for 2 years. When Flo is going to lose the team, because I could always tell you the nature of the guys who are going to lose the team. Like, there's certain people that rub you the wrong way, and they can only last for so long. And so, but I don't think he's lost the team. Like, his demise will be him losing the team, but I don't think that he's lost the team. What I think is they don't have any identity. They're not putting players in position to be successful. I'm sorry. Say whatever you want about Xavier and Byron Jones, but maybe you should have been playing more Jones.
And Jerome Baker.
Oh my God, Jerome! I mean,
none of them can cover right now.
No, but you got a whole team of people who have mostly deficiencies, and their deficiencies show up on Sunday. They're not being masked over. They're not being glossed. They're not being hidden. Their deficiencies are showing up on Sunday, and it's just made you a 1-4 team. And you're really lucky you're not 1-5. I mean 0-5. And now we talk about Jacksonville. We talk about pressure point games. Jacksonville is a must-win game.
Oh yeah.
You don't win. Season. You're flush this thing down the toilet.
Well, not just that. You lose the entire fan base.
You lose the entire locker room. You lose the entire locker room.
Yeah. Well, the locker room maybe, but I can tell you from the texts and the tweets and the DMs and the Facebook.
Come on, everybody knew you were gonna get your ass beat by Tampa Bay. Let's stop.
Today people can deal with, even though it was disgusting, the performance. People can deal with the loss.
It got disgusting at the end when they lost.
Right. But next week, Omar, the fan base will not accept a loss. Will not accept a loss.
Yeah,
they will want everybody's head if they lose next week. I can.
You're going. I don't know about next week. You're going to have to offer a head.
Yeah. Yes.
You lose next week. You are going to have to offer a head.
Yes.
And I don't think people are picky about whose head it is, but there must be a head presented.
Yes.
It's like those tribal things where you got to hold up the head. Like, there must be a sacrifice made.
Yeah, these guys are pretty close to losing the entire fan base.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really close to losing the fan base. And a loss next week, oh my God. I mean, you're in a really, really tight situation, and I'm not talking about Urban Meyer's fingers.
All right, man, I got to get out of here.
All right, follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. Catch him at the South Florida Sun Sentinel, and catch him tomorrow right here with another EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. Omar, never shake hands with Urban Meyer. See you later.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
As we are back here, Fitz departure, laughing my ass out loud. He was a bum. The game in London is nightmare fuel. Let's see, what else do we have here? I'm going to start cheering for either the Chargers or the Rams. Who's with me, says Robert Hidalgo. Confident black man says the Jags play with a lot of heart. Dolphins better show up. Jano says Ross is clueless and we have to wait for him to get lucky and hire the right people. All right. What else do we have here? Tua groupies aren't football fans. They are idol worshipers. Level 2 noob says, I'm cheering for the Lions. At least they never get your hopes up. I swear the Finns could fall in a barrel of blank and come up sucking their thumbs. I would have read it if I was in studio, but I'm in a restaurant and I got a family right in front of me, so I've got to be careful at the moment. But I would have read that word normally, but I'll let you guys think about it a little bit. Let's see, what else do we have here on the text line? Boy, the text line is smoking right now. Why not bring in Jalen Smith when he got released and McKinney released to be more than what he could do on the field? At this point, I don't know what the hell's going on with this team because nothing is working. Even the players that you would think, I mean, think about this. X is not playing well. Like, that's supposed to be your best player, and the guy's not playing well. That just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It just makes you feel like, and I've gotten this a lot from Dolphin fans over the years, like, oh, we just everything we do wrong, and if we sign a player that's great, he's no good for us, and then when we let go of a player that's no good, he's great for somebody else, and you do kind of feel snake bitten in a way that nothing goes well. And when you start, like Jerome Baker over the last 2 years was playing pretty good football. Last year had a really good year. It looks like they were using him in a different way, and they were, using him more as a pass rusher, and it worked out. And then you give him a big contract, and he disappears. X-Men goes and has 10 interceptions, and then bitches about wanting more money. And most of you, by the way, were like, pay the man his money, pay the man his money. And so they paid him for now, and now he's not playing well. It's the weirdest thing in the world. And so I do understand when a Dolphin fan feels like nothing that they do is going to go right. And I was really, and I listen, I may not be as sure as I was at the beginning of the year that this was going to be a playoff year, but I'm still trying to stay positive in the sense of not giving up on these guys, because I'm kind of tired of changes and more changes and more changes. And then the other thing that we've talked about, because we've overanalyzed everything, because when you lose for 20 years plus and you do so many things wrong, you overanalyze everything, right? And the screwed up part is that on the coaching side, all the guys that have been fired as head coaches have never gone anywhere else to have success. But on the personnel side, Rick Spielman's done a really good job with Minnesota. Just because he hasn't won a title doesn't mean he hasn't done a good job. Jeff Ireland has done a really good job helping New Orleans load up their drafts the last couple of years and help them actually get to a deep run in the playoffs a couple of years back. And then you've got Dennis Hickey, who actually, he got killed here at times. And if you look at his 2 drafts, they weren't nearly as bad as people make it out to be. They were actually pretty decent drafts overall. And now he's helping Buffalo, and they're having success. So it's just a weird dynamic. And I sit there and I go, okay, I want to give Flo the opportunity. He did well the first 2 years. To this year, he's been terrible. And then Greer also, they've done a good job of cleaning out the cap, loading up on picks. I know his players haven't gotten enough time, because I've seen plenty of players over the years take a little while to develop. So he hasn't had enough time. But then you see this happen, and you want to be patient, and you want to try to, kind of work your way through this. But it's hard, man. It's hard because there's so much negativity. And then there's so much proof that you've gotten it wrong. And what are you going to do? You cannot argue with the facts with what you're watching on the field. And then we sit there and we overanalyze everything. Is it the player? Is it the coach? Is it the front office? And we don't know what the hell it is. And many times we see players leave here and go play better somewhere else. And then we're wondering, well, what happened? Why isn't he better here? Why wasn't he better here? I don't know if this guy picked up a sack. What's the name of the defensive end that they drafted here, like Charles Harris? Remember? He has 3 sacks in Detroit. Can you check the stats for me? Tell me if Charles Harris picked up his 4th sack in 5 games. Weirdest thing in the world. Charles Harris is terrible. And the guy has 3 sacks already for the Lions. Weirdest thing. And I'm not telling you that he's a good player or anything, but it's just the strangest thing out there. And we sit here and we get frustrated about the successes and the failures, and then the successes and the failures in other places. and we can't explain it. We can't put a finger on it, and it is so frustrating as a Dolphins fan. Because I've done a lot what you guys have done. I quit on Sperano quickly. I quit on Cam Cameron quickly. I never even gave Joe Philbin a chance. Because I knew people in Green Bay, and they told me about him. So, like, I had given up on Green Bay. So, I mean, on Joe Philbin before he even started. Oh,
right.
God.
Charles Harris, while he's with us for 3 years, had 3.5 sacks.
And?
He went to Atlanta last year, had 3 sacks. He's in Detroit this year, and he's already have 3 sacks.
Right. How many games in Atlanta did he play for the 3 sacks?
13 games.
Okay, so is that weird or what? I mean, it just, you can't.
He's already got a forced fumble with Detroit.
Oh, he's got a forced fumble too? Wow. And these are the things that it just is frustrating. And that's why I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be patient in all of this. Because Flo might be a really good coach when it's all said and done. Chris Greer might be a really good personnel guy when it's all said and done. And I'm trying to, but obviously the results of what's going on over the last couple of weeks make it really, really difficult. And I certainly can't, maybe in week 1 or 2, I can make an argument with you guys. I can give you the other side, but I'm out of ammunition. You know what I mean? There aren't any excuses I can make anymore for anybody. Not for the coaches, not for the players, not for the front office. I can't make any excuses. But I don't know where to lay the blame at times. And that's the frustrating part about all of this. And I know that all of you feel the same way I do at times. Now, some of you may not have the feeling of trying to be patient like I'm trying to be with Coach Flo and Greer in all of this, because I thoroughly want to make sure that if not both, at least one of them is maybe a keeper. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying that both are the real deal. I'm praying that Greer and Flo are the real deal for this team, because more changes, it's more years down the line. You just keep kicking that can. You make a change. It's not like you're going to become a Super Bowl team next year. You make a change, and then they make all kinds of changes. And so then you're starting all over again. And these are the things that I just, man, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It just is. What's this Let's Go Brandon from Machete Mambi? I've seen this too many times. You know I have a rule, right? Abusive use of the text machine gets you blocked. Okay? So, Machete Mambi, you now have your warning. Okay? You now have your warning. So, if I see another Let's Go Brandon, you are, let's get Machete Mambi right out of here. Okay? I got it already. Whatever, I don't even know what it means. Well, here we go. Now we saw it. We see it. We conquer. We block. You are gone. Okay. All right. Let's see. If Queen, yes, you're right. You were queasy right away, right off the bat with Philbin. Oh, yeah, no, I never gave Philbin a chance, ever. Some Dolphin fans were really, really pissed at me, like that I never gave Philbin a chance. Like I ripped the hire. I ripped it from the get-go. I said it would never work. He can't lead men. He doesn't. And I was 1,000% right. And please, by the way, somebody from Green Bay told me in the building. So they're like, why didn't they hire Clements? Why are they going to go after this guy? And like, I don't know. Clements is the guy that develops quarterbacks in Green Bay, not Philbin. Philbin doesn't run the offense. He just helps choreograph it during the week. McCarthy's calling the offense. It was the weirdest thing, you know what I mean? But there were a lot of Dolphin fans that got really mad at me, unfollowed me on Twitter, blocked me or whatever. And they're like, They were like so pissed that I never gave Philbin a chance. Not that they ever came back and said, I thought you were a jerk and all that, but you were actually right about it. But whatever. It's all good. So, let's see. I didn't take you for a coward, Big O. Why am I a coward, sir? Why am I a coward, Rupert? I don't know what's a coward. I don't get it. What does that mean? What did I do that is cowardly? Big O, I really like your hat. Thank you, sir. Real logo. Who would be a good coach to go after? I'm not even going in that conversation. Okay? I'm not even entertaining that. The fact that they took Tua over Herbert is grounds for firing. You want them around to screw up the next QB puck. What is wrong with you? Yes, exactly. That's what I want them to do. I want them to screw up the next 10 drafts, sir. You never mentioned Ross. I don't know. Oh, refusing to speak about the owner. What about it? Dude, have you ever listened to me? You ever listened to me? Ross has been ripped over and over on our show for many. Listen, if you're just new here, then that's fine. I've been doing this for 31 years. So, I mean, if some of you are kind of new to this, then you may want to get some information from others that have followed me for many, many years overall. So there you go. I've criticized the owner many. The owner right now, what am I going to do right now? What's there to do right now with the owner? The owner he's hired everybody, both owners, Wayne Huizenga and Ross. They've hired all kinds of names, and they've hired all kinds of people, and they've all failed. We all know that. If so, I apologize. Well, Rupert, the problem is, brother, you snap and you don't know anything about me. If you're a newbie and you've just been listening to me for a couple weeks, a couple months, then you don't know me at all, dude. I'm the guy that's gone after anybody and everybody that needs to, some ripping. Not sure. If you don't know anything about me, you really don't understand. You may. I'm the last guy that you may want to worry about any kind of tough question or anything like that. Let's see. Saban takes Herbert. Well, Saban ended up taking Culpepper. He can blame it on the doctors all he wants. He could have taken Breeze if he wanted to. He chose Culpepper, just like the doctors did. WGAF about Herbert. Yes, he's a good QB, but he's an entirely different O-line receivers, coaches, and teams. Stop comparing him to Tua until things are equal. Yeah, but nobody cares about that. It's true, but nobody cares about that. The Finns ignored so many good O-line and free agents that should have been priorities for protecting a fragile QB. John Russell, you, sir, are 1,000% right on that. That's where Greer and Flo screwed up. If you're going to have a fragile quarterback like Tua, as your QB, you build the wall of Montezuma in front of him. That I agree with, and I said it for Andrew Luck, and I'll say it for Tua. And the fact that they put a whole bunch of young guys that have no experience in front of Tua, incredibly irresponsible. Not a little, it's incredibly irresponsible. One guy says, Herbert not looking good today. I don't really care about that, to be honest with you. Big O, you are my therapy, and your teja is legend. Thank you, Willie. I appreciate you, my brother. Too nice. Henrik Arthur says, all of a sudden, Ryan Tannehill, franchise QB, I got a feeling if Miami did draft Herbert, he wasn't going to be as good. Henrik, do you really watch the Tennessee games? You know what I love? I love how a lot of you see the stats and you actually think like Ryan is like the big difference maker on the team or something. It's Derrick Henry that wins the games. Ryan plays off of Derrick Henry. And when Derrick Henry's not playing well and not dominating, they usually don't win the game. because Ryan can't win the game for you. Like, nothing's really changed that much. He's a really good, game manager. He does a really good job of, if the play design goes the way it goes, he'll get the ball to the playmaker, and then they'll do their thing. But if the game is on the line, he's not winning it for you. Watch the games.
Today, he managed to hand the ball off 29 times to Derrick Henry for 130 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, bro. I mean, give me a break. You got to really watch the games so you can see that Ryan really isn't a difference maker at all. He's a facilitator on his best day. That's what he does. It's amazing. It really is, man. Like, people fall for it. They actually fall for it. They actually think like he turned the corner and became this franchise guy or something. They think like he's leading them or something. No, dude, it's Derrick Henry that's leading them every single time. Horrible O-line moves this offseason. Ike is okay, but needed free agent Karras, leaving sucked other spots because they focused on interior line. I got to tell you, John, they had to go better than Karras. Tooney and all those kind of guys who were available, you should have overpaid for those guys. Because, I mean, in free agency, that's what you do. You overpay for everybody, pretty much. The good players that are up for big contracts, you're always going to overpay even for the good players. So I'm with you, but Karras wasn't good enough. They needed even better than that for Tua. That's how serious I am about the mistakes they made on the O-line. I mean, they seriously made mistakes on the O-line. And I'm telling you, that's all on Flo. There's no GM in the world that tells you 4 young linemen and a journeyman and you go coach them. No. Because nobody does that. That's Flo saying, no, we can coach them up. They're good enough. They'll be yada, 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 all that crap. Let's see. South Florida and Miami, the boom town of America with disgusting football team. Big O, the trolls are still amok. I mean, what are you going to do, dude? What can I tell you? I can eliminate some of the idiots. If I see anybody that's being, I'm not seeing any kind of disrespectful stuff or any kind of disgusting stuff out there. I did get rid of the one idiot that kept posting the same comment over and over and over again. I forgot his name already, but yeah, I got rid of that idiot. But it doesn't look like the people that are there are doing anything out of the ordinary, my brother. Jamie Zorria says, Big O, the last 3 teams we played didn't have a 100-yard runner until they played us. This defense is extremely disappointing, and it falls on Flo. It's the bottom line. Ross needs to bring Mark Anthony and J-Lo to fix this awful franchise. I'm just thinking J-Lo as a center. That's all I'm saying. I'm thinking of. I mean, will anybody get any work done? All right, we are going to wrap it up here. We thank, of course, the legend that is Sean Stanley. And, of course, we thank all of you out there, as always, for keeping it locked here on the show and supporting us like you always do. Appreciate all of you out there. As always, if you have any questions, any comments, you can send them in to the text line at 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to send in a text, if you're listening to the podcast, if you're watching the show later on, we thank all the great people out here at Sports Grow making our lives nice and easy. Next week, we will be here early in the morning. We'll be here. We start our broadcast at 7:30 because the game's at 9:30. We're going to have breakfast out here. So if you want to have some pancakes, some bacon, some eggs, they're going to have chicken and waffles, shrimp and grits, all that, so we can watch the Dolphins and the Jags next week. So come on out and join us. We will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. like we do Monday through Friday here on the show. Y'all be good out there. Much love. Thanks to Omar Kelly. We'll see you all tomorrow. Be good.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good